You have so many demands on your time. You don't know how you're supposed to get everything done. There's parenting, there's work, there's keeping house, there's getting the kids to school, getting them to practice, getting them to sports lessons, getting them to dentist appointments or doctor's appointments. Yeah, it's really hard to get all of our responsibilities taken care of. And yet, there are some people who manage to cram more into a week than the rest of us do in one day. What is their secret? They only have 24 hours too, right? I'm going to let you in on the tricks that they know. And the reason why I know these is because I have ADHD and I had to crack the code in order to become a productive person that didn't constantly get distracted by, I don't know, squirrel. So let's talk about that code. What do people who are really productive know to do that the rest of us are kind of only now figuring out? Number one, don't let your day happen to you. To take charge of your time, you need to make a plan on how you're going to spend it. If you just basically think, oh, tomorrow I'm going to get this and that done, when you get up in the morning, it's going to be one crisis after another demanding your time and attention. And at the end of the day, you'll look back and think, well, I didn't get around to the things I intended to do. So to take charge of your time, when you go to bed at night, you need to plan how you're going to spend the next day from the minute that you get up. And for reasons that are going to become clear throughout this video, this brain dump, it's my secret weapon to being productive. Keep a pen and paper, and at first it might actually be a notebook because there are going to be a lot of things that you are going to be writing down during this brain dump. Spend some time before you go to sleep. Write down all the things that you've been meaning to get around to doing. These are the things that keep you up at night. And they can be anything from I need to send Aunt Agnes a birthday card 6 months from now, to I need to remember and refill the toilet paper tomorrow, to I need to look up that kid in third grade that I was a bully to and apologize. And by the way, Sam Chang, if you are watching this, I tried finding you on Facebook and I really am sorry. So we call this a brain dump for, well, what should be obvious reasons right now. You are just dumping things unprioritized, getting them out of your brain and onto that paper. As far as how long to spend doing a brain dump, I tend to spend about 10 to 15 minutes doing it. And I found that if I spend much longer than that, I end up working myself up into a bit of a frenzy. So 10 to 15 minutes, and then trust that the next day, anything you didn't think about will end up coming out in the next day's brain dump. And of course, you can always, when you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and can't fall asleep, add things if you need to. But for the first few times, 10 to 15 minutes is the most that you should spend. Then, step number 2, you're going to take that brain dump and you're going to review it after you finish writing it. That's why we keep it to 10 to 15 minutes. Review it and figure out what needs to be tackled the next day. The things that you want to look for are things with unavoidable deadlines that will have unpleasant consequences if you miss those deadlines. Make sure that those zoom to the top of your to-do list. Also look for things that are little nuisances in life that kind of sap the joy out of your day, like trash in the back of your car that you've been meaning to get around to. If you have a long commute, you know how unpleasant that is. If it's laundry and you've just been meaning to find time to do it, add to your to-do list to do one load. After several days of doing a brain dump and extracting things from your brain dump to your to-do list, you'll start to see that you're in the habit of figuring out what really is a priority in terms of deadlines, but also what is a priority in making you feel better about your life. And when those become priorities on your to-do list and you're spending your energy getting them done, it is a cycle that actually reinforces the whole process. Now, as time goes by and you're in the habit of doing this brain dump and extracting your to-do list from it, you will find that you've started to take care of the big, urgent priorities. And you will have more free time to take care of the other things, like life goals. And those should be on your brain dump, but they should also get moved from your brain dump to your to-do list so that you are accomplishing some of the reasons why you're here, some of the things that actually give your life meaning. Let's say you've always wanted to learn piano or a foreign language or travel or attend a class or finish school. Those things do need to make it off of your brain dump and onto your to-do list, and you will have time and mental capacity to do them once you start prioritizing things and dealing with the deadlines and the little nuisances that sap the energy out of your life. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, great. I've got a brain dump. I've got a to-do list. When am I supposed to find time to deal with it? That's the next step. You need to wake up and claim your morning. You are never more in charge of your life than you are in the morning. And I know if you have kids, especially little ones, you're thinking, I don't have any control over my mornings. But you do, in the sense that you could get up earlier. Wait, don't hit that stop button. What I mean, train yourself slowly. 5 minutes in bed earlier, 5 minutes up earlier, until you're at the point where you have made time for yourself by carving it out of your day. There is a reason for it. If you want to get things done, you do need to get up earlier. I know. I'm not a morning person either. I used to love staying up late at night, and frankly, when the sun was up and the birds were chirping, it ticked me off. But when you get in the habit of going to bed 5 minutes earlier and getting up 5 minutes earlier, and you do that every day for a week, you are now up a half hour earlier and asleep a half hour earlier, and you're making sleep your priority. If you do that 2 weeks in a row, you have now carved out an entire hour to yourself, my friend. Yes, that means you're losing an hour at night, but really, what have you been doing with that time at night? If you want to get more done during the day, you need to wake up, claim your morning, and make time in the morning to do your priorities. Planning your day ahead of time will also make it easier to fall asleep. So there's a bonus here. You're going to rest better.